So Disney buys Fox and what that means for the future of the X-Men franchise. Today on The Minute, brought to you by Movie Night Autopsy. Well, hello and welcome to something brand new that we're trying now. It's going to be called The Minute, brought to you by, me, I'm Sam.
I'm Chad.
And we're here to talk to you a little bit about something, movie related. So it's old news at this point. Like, the shareholders have voted, both sides, Fox and Disney. The very high percentage was approved. So they're moving forward with that deal.
I believe the total is $71 billion was the bid.
Yeah, something like that. And I've actually, speaking of which, if you want to do more reading about this, we're gonna have links in the description. It says right here, according to the Los Angeles Times, $71.3 billion.
$0.3 billion, including 7-1. Wow.
Yeah, just throwing an extra $300 million.
$300 million. I guess they had it lying around.
Yep. It's like, well, I guess we got enough cocaine. We can...
It's not like we're going to run out of all of this cocaine.
But in all seriousness, Rupert Murdoch is selling off all of the entertainment side of Fox. He's holding on to the news sites like Fox News and Fox Business. He's holding on to Fox Sports and the sports networks. Mm-hmm. Selling off 21st Century Fox Studios.
Like the lot?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sure.
All
like those details haven't come out yet. But I mean, if they're buying the entertainment branch, and from what I understand, they're going to keep that as a separate brand, which is going to allow things like FX and FXX to still be a thing.
Yeah. Can I pop in with a quick question? Does it say anything in that article about the Fox back catalog?
Oh, yeah, they're getting all of it.
Okay.
It's The Simpsons, Family Guy, the Alien movies, the Predator movies.
The old Star Wars movies.
Oh, man,
That's a whole nother discussion for another day, sir.
Oh, yeah, I haven't thought about that. Yeah, we don't have time to cover that in a minute.
Yeah.
What I'm specifically wanting to talk about is what I think this means for the future of the X-Men franchise, considering that we have two movies sitting in the wait that have been just delayed by reshoots. These characters now being incredibly valuable to Kevin Feige over in Marvel Studios.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what your take is on this because, the full take, the full spectrum, because this has come up in conversation a few times in the last couple of weeks, and
oh yeah,
I didn't get all of your opinion, but I got a very strong sense that you definitely had an opinion.
And again, there are rumors out there, like these rumors are like they're known for anybody who's bothered to look. But I'm not talking about the rumors specifically. I'm just talking about like numbers in business, like what to me seems most likely.
Makes sense.
And I think that there is some truth in the fact that I don't know that these movies will ever see the light of day.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of avenues to consider, but it seems on the surface like Disney hasn't paid cent one for these movies to be made. And unless these reshoots start soon, because the deal isn't quite final yet, they still have to go through. They've been approved by the U.S. Department of Justice, but they still have to go through that for several other countries around the world.
Makes sense.
So the Fox studios that are making these movies have to act incredibly quickly to go ahead and do these reshoots before the acquisition is official.
Has it given a window of when the acquisition will be finalized?
Not that I've seen.
Okay.
It could take a couple months.
Yeah. Canning movies is interesting. There's not too many movies that are always in the can and stuck for like ever. Like I think there's like a lost Orson Welles movie that's finally seeing the light of day.
Oh, for sure.
And there's a couple of movies that are so bad no one can see them. But most of the time what happens is these things kind of get delayed for years. Like
development hell.
Yeah, development hell. And that happened to the Red Dawn reboot. Because, two things. One, I believe there was an issue with wanting to change the nationality of the invading army from one country to another, and that made the budget go up substantially.
Oh, they're doing a similar kind of thing with New Mutants specifically.
Yes.
They're recutting, from reports are saying, up to 50% of the movie.
But the main thing with Red Dawn...
To add a character.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But the main thing with Red Dawn, the remake, not the classic Milius film, MGM went under.
Oh, wow.
That delayed the release of that movie for at least a year or two. So it's a money thing.
That's similar, I guess.
It's a money thing in a weird way. It's kind of the opposite, but it's in the same category.
It's in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
Ain't no fucking ballpark.
So what you were saying...
We watched that the other day.
I don't know... But you were saying if you want to go into this topic right away, we can, because you just said the reshoots on New Mutants for a very specific reason.
Yeah, they're adding a character.
They're adding a character.
And there's more information out there. I mean, I'm actually like looking at a couple of the
Yeah.
headlines, just like scanning
So a
through
character
Google.
that previously wasn't in the movie whatsoever.
Yeah, and then they're adding to it just and the reports. These same reports also say because they're
Okay.
trying to increase the horror element. You know, like I guess that the movie that they had, because the movie was already finished and cut.
Okay.
And I guess that the movie that they had was a solid movie.
Uh-huh.
But the studio decided, well, you know, Logan did so well, and it was a genre piece, so maybe we should pursue other avenues of that. So let's really crank up the horror on this.
You know what X-Men needs to be? Spooky.
Spooky.
That's what we need.
We
X-Men
need some
needs to be
spooky X-Men, some spooky mutants.
So instead of like really embracing a genre and having the story come out through that particular art form,
Yeah,
say a western or a
they're
sci-fi
going back
film,
and shooting like
spooky things.
spooky things to make the story spookier.
So
Yeah, that seems to be the plan. And I don't know, like I guess it started as just like reshooting here and there, and then it just snowballed into a whole thing.
that's how reshoots go.
I guess so.
I guess so. I
But
didn't
yeah,
shut
but
them
now
around
they're
much.
like adding a character and everything, and I'm just like, look what happened with Justice League. Like, I feel like I'm in the Justice League apologist camp because like
Do you?
I enjoyed the movie enough. There's no excuse for that upper lip, but. That's really bad, but I enjoyed it enough just for what it is. It's not good, but
It's
I
not
enjoyed
good.
it. But I feel like if you learn anything from that, it's just like don't do what they did, and that's what New Mutants is doing.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Dark Phoenix isn't far off from the same thing.
Okay. Well, real fast before Dark Phoenix, New Mutants, have they said who the new character is?
I'm pretty sure they have somewhere, but
Okay.
I'm just
It's not
so
like-
baffled at the kerfuffle that is this entire
It's not like a
production
super-
that I haven't looked into.
We don't know who it is, and we probably don't. It's not a big.
It's not that I
interesting
don't
thing.
care because like I was really excited about the New Mutants when they announced they were going to do that. I was like, oh man, they're doing a New Mutants movie. That's awesome.
I thought they were doing a New Mutants TV show.
That could work
Maybe.
if if Netflix did it through with Marvel.
Well, it would be
that,
at the moment. It would be like all the.
that'd be cool. But
if,
anyways,
if they did, yeah, that's speculation.
that's total speculation.
So Dark Phoenix.
This is also speculation, but we actually have some stuff we can look at to form these opinions. So like with X-Men Dark Phoenix, they're also supposedly getting major reshoots. They haven't thrown out like a percentage. Like there are multiple reports saying 50%.
What's the budget now?
for New Mutants? I haven't seen budget numbers,
but
but
it's up there.
I mean, I would imagine that it was probably sitting somewhere around 150 before the reshoots.
Yeah, it's an excellent
and the
movie.
reshoots are probably going to cost easily like 50 to 80 million.
They usually do. Like I know
Easily, right?
Most of the time when you see these reshoots, these substantial reshoots, like every big budget movie has reshoots budgeted into it, and that's a way for people to catch the things they didn't catch before. Often.
Yeah. Usually it's just to like be like, oh well, we kind of need to we need to film the setup shot.
It's more
something
like
that.
it's like cinematic insurance.
right.
In like a modern Hollywood system.
Right.
But when you see these substantial reshoots in a
Like,
comic book
and
movie,
I mean,
something
and
that
it
big
happened.
budget,
It's happened in a lot of these kinds of like you
Yeah.
know like I love the nerd culture movies. So like I mean like with Rogue One being one of those,
Mm-hmm.
it happened an awful lot with like I mean or it was very publicized rather.
yes. That was the first one, real quick. That was like the first one where we heard about all these major reshoots happening.
Mm-hmm.
And before everyone started accepting that as the norm of these movies.
And
So that
honestly-
scared the hell out of a lot of people when that news came out.
Well, I mean, honestly, I enjoy Rogue One enough for what it is, but really the third act is the best part of that movie, and you can tell that the reshoots happen. It's just, I mean, like we're just repeating ourselves with the Justice League situation.
Yes.
But like with Dark Phoenix, I don't know how much they're having to reshoot, but I mean, like I'm looking at an article from Hollywood Reporter right now that says major reshoots, and major to me means a decent chunk of the movie.
Half.
Like if you're, I mean, maybe not half, but honestly, if you're coming up on like 20% of the movie that you're reshooting, that's a lot of the movie.
That's a lot of movie.
That's a whole lot
And
of
you
movie.
know that's going to be like, that's like what, the fourth or fifth sequel of this particular draw of X-Men. So it's going to already be like 2 hours plus, unless the studio says you have to get this in
And
at 2
man,
hours.
like interest has already just been down just because I mean as like I really love Days of Future Past,
Yeah,
but
that's a great one.
X-Men Apocalypse did not land as well.
Yeah, I remember
As Days of
walking out
Future
of that and
Past
being
did.
like, oh, it's kind of a bummer.
I mean there was explosions and stuff. I guess that was cool, but that was a bad story.
We went with a
It
group.
was just bad. Yeah, there was
see
a lot
that
of
movie.
this. Yeah, we were excited about.
And we were all kind of bummed, but I remember one guy walked out and was like, well, I mean, explosions happen. What more do you want?
Yeah.
And I was like, well,
A good story, man. The source material is ridiculous. All you got to do is just
It's literally
you're not
right
even
there.
you're not stealing it. You own it. Anyways, so that brings me to to Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios,
who have said nothing about any of this, right?
Oh, of course. And Kevin Feige, he's known for that. He doesn't talk shit. Like he knows what hand he has, and he plays the hand he has. He doesn't like brag about it before he plays it. He's just got it. I'm telling you, like, there's no way that he hasn't been watching this saying like, oh, I can't wait to get my hands on them X-Men. And he probably feels the same way about the Fantastic Four, but I just think the X-Men is more interesting to talk about this second.
Fantastic Four, that's a whole nother topic. I could totally get into, but we don't have to right now.
That brand is a train wreck of a garbage fire. Like X-Men.
It was a train wreck, but then it became a train wreck of a garbage fire.
And with X-Men, like X-Men Apocalypse wasn't received that well, but Deadpool and Deadpool 2 were both hits. Deadpool's a little bit softer than expected, but they were both hits. Logan was an unexpected hit, like genre crossing, like mind fuck of a movie. Man, I love that movie.
There's still life in these things.
So the brand is not dead. The brand is far from dead. Like Fantastic Four is going to take some work, but X-Men they can work with. And I promise you, like the Dark Phoenix story, the X-Men franchise as it is now has already fucked that story up once in X3. They already fucked it up once.
Come out swinging, Samuel. That's true, though. It's not good.
The last thing that somebody as smart as Kevin Feige wants is to let the same studio fuck the story up a second time right before he's handed the reins to those characters.
Yeah. I think I see what you're kind of not saying, but kind of.
If anyone wants to do that story right, I promise you Kevin Feige has thought about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure of it.
Okay.
And
makes sense, man.
And I'm sure he doesn't want to let the studio that his company that he works for is about to own with these characters that he's about to have range over. He doesn't want to see that studio tank this story a second time right before he gets ownership of it.
This is purely nerd speculation at this point, but do you think that he's had like a super awesome secret plan for the X-Men for like 10 years now, and he's just been waiting? Like
he probably has the same plan for the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
it's just that X-Men's more interesting to me right now.
It's just like he knows how to handle everything, because so far he's shown, with a few minor exceptions, and I don't mean like, oh, there's certain Marvel movies I like. If we're gonna nitpick Kevin Feige, he gets like a score of like 93 out of 100.
Oh, he's up. I mean,
but I can talk about 7 things that have a problem anyway.
Yeah.
It seems like he's got a
great track record. Look at his track record. That's how he handles the characters and the stories.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is 100% true. But I feel like he's one of those guys who's just like he can't sleep at night because he's like, I just gotta write down this idea I have for
I believe that.
Colossus.
I believe that.
A Colossus story.
And I'll follow that up. Like I'll follow up those points with like it's not impossible. Like Fox Studios as it currently exists, they can get it done. Like if they I'm also looking at some more articles right here saying that the reshoots are scheduled to happen soon.
Okay.
Like sometime next month, I think, is one that I was just looking at.
Okay, so they might get under the wire here.
But I mean that could be a PR move, just the studio as it stands trying to make itself look good, like they have their shit together.
Business as usual.
I've definitely heard an awful lot about scheduling conflicts because one of the cast members is on Game of Thrones, and that's about to come back for its last season, which is a big deal. Much bigger deal than the Dark Phoenix X-Men movie from Fox. So, but it's not impossible. Fox could get it done, and they would have to really, really rush it. And the result would probably look an awful lot like Justice League. Okay, so when you say better or for worse,
when you say get it done, you mean just put out a product?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
exactly. But that's what they would be doing, and that's probably how it would be received.
Okay, possibly. Yeah.
I don't see a world where this movie takes the time that it needs to be as good as this movie can possibly be, and come out before Disney takes over and scraps the whole thing.
Scraps because they're not paying for any of it, right?
Well, as far as we know,
yes.
Our audio engineer over here, John Sidwell, he made the point the other day, for all we know, the deal that they made could have included what was spent on the movies currently in development.
Possibly. I don't know really how those deals
And then
work,
we threw some numbers around. And what we came up with is like, okay, so Dark Phoenix is going to have a higher budget than New Mutants. Let's speculate what that budget might be because it hasn't been released yet.
Okay.
It's probably going to be at least $150. Let's even be generous and say like that they gave that movie a $200 million budget. And then the advertising for it would be another $100 million. So that's $300 million. Okay. And then there's reshoots. Those reshoots are probably, being conservative about it, probably going to be about 75.
Okay.
Somewhere
That
around
makes
there.
sense. Yeah,
It's
that's fair.
significant
That
reshoots.
seems like a fair number.
Somewhere in the neighborhood of 75. I mean,
Yeah.
like it costs a lot just to get a production up and running again. So that's going to put it somewhere in the neighborhood of 375 million. I mean, that's a lot of money. Now let's look at New Mutants. New Mutants is going to be a much lower budget, but being generous with that, like I'll go up to 100 million. It probably didn't cost that much to make the movie,
Probably more like 75.
but let's just say 100 million.
Yeah, because it's probably a bunch of unknowns.
And the marketing's not going to be as full swing, so I'll go half of what. I'll go half and say 50 million for that.
All right, gotcha.
But they're reshooting half the movie. That's probably going to cost about 60, 75 million.
You know what's going to be like the crazy thing? I bet you New Mutants is fine.
It probably was fine.
And then if they put this damn thing out with all the making it spooky,
It was originally supposed to come. It was originally supposed to come out in April, by the way.
This past April?
This past April.
2018?
That's when it was supposed to come out.
There was a week when I was really bored looking for something to do in April, and I could have saw New Mutants.
Well, blame Fox and the New Mutants. So, but still, like at the end of the day, altogether, it's going to come in somewhere around $600 million. Well, it's $600 million for one up against $71.3 billion.
$3 billion.
It's not a lot of money in comparison to that. And you have to keep in mind that Disney is thinking, well, are these movies going to damage the brand that we're purchasing? Because we're purchasing X-Men. Is it going to damage that brand? And is it going to cost us revenue moving forward? Are we going to have to clean up the mess that these movies are going to make?
That seems like
so that we can make them profitable again.
Yeah, that seems like the smart move. They would have to do a lot of heavy lifting afterwards if they put out a movie that wasn't good. But they're like, if they do the short-term business plan thing of, well, we didn't spend any money on it, so we might as well put it out and get some money back. It could have long-term effects.
Exactly. Like you don't want to damage your brand. Like they're buying Fox because they get brands like the X-Men. And Kevin Feige especially, he wants the X-Men. He wants Fantastic Four. He doesn't want creative restrictions on what he can do. So that's just that's where I am on all of that.
Okay, that makes sense. Wait, let me go back a minute. New Mutants was supposed to come out in April.
Something like that.
Okay.
I'd have to look up the exact date, but somewhere around there.
When did they shoot this damn thing?
Like
2 years ago?
Middle to end of last year.
Oh man, they knock those movies out fast. Because there's always a lot of.
Well, it was one of those lower budget type movies.
Right.
They were taking a chance on it.
That's true.
Because Deadpool did so well.
Yeah.
And then Logan also did very well.
Okay, that makes sense.
For a rated R movie that didn't have the X-Men's name in the title.
Not in the title, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
They made a bold choice with that.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're totally digressing. Sounds like we covered what we were trying to cover here.
Yeah, I don't have anything extra to add. It's a lot of speculation, and we try to have an informed opinion. I think we did a pretty good job with it.
Yeah, very much, very much informed opinions going on here. Like I said, we're gonna include more reading for you in the description. So if you want to go and check out the facts as they are known as of this recording, then you are free to do so.
Yep.
But for the minute, brought to you by Movie Night Autopsy, I'm Sam.
I'm Chad.
And thanks for listening.
What's up, crew? If you got any idea of what you would like for us to talk about on the Minute or on Movie Night Autopsy podcast, hit us up on the social medias. You can hit us up on Twitter at movie_autopsy. Check us out on Facebook at Movie Night Autopsy. Always feel free to email us, contact@movienightautopsy.com.